All right, we've got the hue color on the blush correct right here, but we need to lighten it. That needs more more white, which of course is opaque. That's what we want. We want this blush color, which is quite violet. And I've started laying it in, but I want it to be red also. I don't want it to be just a terrible color. So I think that's about it right there. So once we start laying that in, we'll see what it looks like. And we'll decide if that's basically the color of the blush we want. And if that's too much, we want it to be fairly soft. Now this blush on this particular one is much whiter. So I would take the white and barely add it in around this. And then blot it off so that it's barely there. Just like that. And just soften it. And if this is too harsh, you can always wash it out. So this one up here, there's a little bit up here on it. And this is what gives you the realism. So we'll just model that. Okay, this one has all of this going on, but of course we can't do this until the masking fluid's off, but I'm just putting it there to remind me. And there's some down here also. And under here. Okay, this has no blush on it. This one does though, so let's see what we can do about that. It's got some little wiggly right along the edge. The blush is always right along the edge. And then it comes in here. Then it comes up here a little bit. And around that watermark. Well, actually, it's not a watermark. It's a water drop. Then it comes under here a little bit and disappears over there. Okay. Something like that. This one has a little bit of activity over here. It's really not of significance. But we'll put a little something in there just for continuity's sake. All right. And I know that looks very strange right now, but we're going to go back over with the reds again. So now I need to not contaminate my red with this white. So I would basically clean out my palette. Pretty much like that. Get rid of these muted colors and go in with some nice clear colors again. Because now we want to brighten. So if we want to brighten, take our quinacridone rose, our pyro red, just mix those together. Get a nice bright, add a little bit of yellow to it. Change that hue a little bit, make it a little brighter. A little more on the orange side to brighten that up. Test that on something. Okay, I like that. So, and then I've I've got my darks established, so I think we can just go in and layer over these things another time with just this brighter mixture. Just staying away from, and then I want to add some texture, so I don't want it to go everywhere. Just soften that edge right there. But I do want some of that color brighter up here. So I'm going to go around this mottled area a little bit, right up to it. And over here, right in there, mixed in with it. And see how it pops out that blush, which I think is pretty cool. Just keeping it soft and darker back here too. So brighter. So see, you can just keep layering until you get the look you want. Let's hit that edge right there. Okay, then I can go over this one the same way with this just brighter mixture. Come down here, just go right in around the blush. And a little bit darker up in here. It's going to be darker anyway because the darker is underneath. So the better quality paper, the more layering you can do. This paper is probably about reaching its maximum of how many layers I can put in here, but we'll see. Let's go over this again, just brightening this dark color. Everywhere I see the dark color, I'm just making it a little brighter. And then I'm going to go in here where I see these darker marks and do just some little blushy things around here. Just to bring that blush out a little bit. You can see immediately as the red starts drying, it dulls down. So I'm constantly having to push that red to be brighter and lighter. Especially up in here. There are some striations in these grapes, so they're not perfectly smooth. We really need to show some of that. Marks in here. Just dancing your brush around a little bit, just to give some variations in texture. All right, we're going to dry that, see what we think. I can already see that this is way dark again here. So this might be as much as we can push this, these colors back in here. Let's see here, let's just model this a little bit up in here. Just with some loose marks like this. Especially when you're on the lighter colors that you see there. Like that. There would be some here as well. There's actually a curve that's happening on this grape. I'm not sure what that's about, but I'm just going to put some striations in there. ever so loosely. Just giving it some loose brush. This is just dry brush, just some texture, giving it some texture. Of course, every layer that you put on here is going to get darker. That's just the way it is with watercolor paper. Okay, so I'm going to dry this and decide if we can take the masking fluid off. I am not happy with this muted violet back here. It's just screaming to me. I don't like it. I want to push this lighter, so in order to make this look more luminescent, I'm going to darken this background. Now this is your choice. You certainly can leave it the way it is or use a different color, but for me, I love black, dark backgrounds, so I'm basically taking all the colors, the violets, the blues on my palette, and I'm just going to make up a nice dark wash. I just added a little Payne's Gray to that. So it's going to be, I don't want it to be quite so violet. So I'm going to add a little more blue to it. Get a nice almost black. And it'll take several layers to get it as dark as I want, but that's okay. So let's try that, see what that looks like. And I'm basically going to do a wash here. So I'm going to start right here along this edge. Come right up into here, go around my grapes, keeping a wet edge, coming on around here, catching right here. And remember, this is this inexpensive paper, so it's not going to take this wash as well as Arches would take it. That's okay. Just darkening it. And I'm probably going to push it more toward the black side because I want this really dark. So generally the way I do this is I just layer it until I get it as dark as I want. With the darkest being actually at the top. So I'm going to dry that and see how I like that, and then we'll decide. I already like it better. Okay, we're back. I have darkened this background several times to get it to the darkness that I'm happy with. And now I'm taking straight phthalo blue and going over this whole area. I took off the masking fluid, so now I'm just softening these masking fluid lines. I'm going over everything with this phthalo blue. Just for continuity and to soften these lines back like that, which makes them look much more realistic. Because I have this these colors already down here, it's going to look softer when I do this. Making this darker down here, just for more dynamic excitement here. Like that. I'm gonna have to figure out what we're doing with that. So this is called a unifying wash. When you just go over everything with the same color. You can see the violets are still peeking through. You still have your basic shadows in place here. We can re-emphasize them, make some a little bluer. That one's good. Okay. Come back up in here, get that a little brighter. I really want the indication that that there is brightness here from the light source. So that's why we're doing this. Actually, going to go in here with just clear water, but I'm just softening, well, maybe a little blue. Just softening that a little bit. Re-wetting the whole thing so we don't have any hard edges. Softening this. That's a little too much water. This is all blue here. That's blue as well. We need to have a smaller brush. And a paper towel so that I can blot up anything that I don't like the looks of. So I'm just going in with the blue. Don't think we want blue there though. We definitely want the blue in here. And right here. This is mostly water. So there's very little blue in here. This is all blue here. And that's just the reflection of the blue from the background. So this will be a little blue. This is very blue here. This is very blue here. So that'll take several coats of that. So we basically put it down, then we soften it. We're gonna have to clean up some of these edges. That's not gonna be hard to do. All right, I'm liking this much better. So let's try that. And we'll see what else we want to do here. Always stand back and look at your painting. Take a photograph of it or look at your painting from a distance to see if it's believable. Yes, I'm liking this. I'm liking this much better.